What's going on, everyone? Mr. Octagonal here. Now today, Madden 20 EA Access has dropped, and of course we will be starting our Madden 20 franchise. This series is replacing the Dolphins franchise from Madden 19, basically going to be the same thing, but hopefully a little bit better, because why not? So, obviously, if you saw the team reveal, and if you saw the thumbnail and the title, you may know that the squad we're going to be using is actually my favorite team, the Detroit Lions, so that's definitely going to make things interesting, that I'm using my favorite team for my franchise this year. Teams in the past I've never really had allegiances with, but since we're using my favorite team, I think that'll make it a little bit more interesting this year. Maybe I'll be unwilling to trade certain players in the future, because obviously the series will be realistic. If you like realistic franchises, this is the place to be. For my unrealistic people, I will be starting rebuilds likely tomorrow, like one episode per team rebuild, and those will all be unrealistic. I think the first team we're probably going to do is the Raiders or the Titans, depending on the vote. So without further ado, let's get right on into it, as we have a little slideshow for us. Cortez Drummond, a running back going to the Dolphins, talking about drafting, something that of course we love to do. Hidden developments, that's something new this year. Discovering talent, I think we have to do some like scouting of actual NFL players, which is a little bit different than normal. Obviously, building a dynasty for the Super Bowl, and then many other storylines as well. We don't need to see what it is for the players since we're not making a player. We'll start QB1 later. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. We're going to be doing an offline franchise, and the only reason why I do offline instead of cloud is because usually right at the beginning, like, I may have to quit the first game just because the sliders are so bad. It's not that I quit so I make sure I win. It's because I have to work on these sliders. That's really the only reason why I go with offline franchises. So, unlike most years, we actually don't have to scroll, since obviously the Lions are our team. Only a 74 overall. I thought it said we were an 80 overall, but I guess these rosters are a little bit different. Maybe we were lied to. So, with creating our coach, either we do a collegiate coach or we do a former player. Since we did Chris Peterson last year, who's the head coach at Washington, this year we're going to do a former player. And who better than my favorite Detroit Lion and my favorite athlete in general of all time, and none other than number 81, Calvin Johnson. So obviously in real life, the Lions and Calvin Johnson sort of have some beef. I think Calvin wants some extra money, but oh well, you get to become the head coach now, so I'm sure he's not complaining. I'm pretty sure he currently owns a medical marijuana store in Detroit, so if you want to hear some marijuana jokes, you can check out my latest Westlake episode. So without further ado, before we check the roster, we get something from a sports reporter by the name of Taylor Bennett. The sort of scenarios will be a big part of franchise this year, as now we know Taylor Bennett, who will be following our team around. So starting with the preseason, Matt Prater wants to talk to us. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. We have to go through the squad first. So let's take a look at this roster. This roster has talent, but this team does have a lot of work if they want to become Super Bowl contenders. So starting with the quarterback position, of course, led by the now 31-year-old Matthew Stafford. The talent is there with him, but he's never won a playoff game. He's never won a division title in his 10 years as a starter for this Lions team. And let's see if he can get over that hump, or maybe will a new quarterback be needed. Tom Savage, Connor Cook will be fighting out for the backup spot. Running back, Kerryon Johnson, coming off a very solid rookie year. Definitely going to be a player who we try to build around. Definitely going to be a focal point for this offense. He is star development. And then his backup will be C.J. Anderson, who's a pretty talented player. He was really solid down the stretch last year for the Rams, especially when Todd Gurley was quote-unquote injured. And then the backups, Theo Riddick, Zach Zenner, and the rookie out of Maryland, Ty Johnson. Fullback, Nick Baldwin, second-year man out of San Diego State, whoop-de-doo. Receivers, Marvin Jones, very solid 29-year-old wide receiver. He can certainly stretch the field, and if you want to go deep, he's definitely your guy. And then, another really talented receiver, this kid's only 25 years old, Kenny Golladay, entering his third year out of Northern, Illinois. He's going to be another young focal point of his offense, a player who we definitely look to build around. And then Danny Amendola's back. We had him 1 year for the Dolphins series. We'll probably have him 1 year for this series as the slot receiver, just like in the Dolphins series. And then Jermaine Kearse, some solid depth along him with guys such as Travis Fulgham and Tommy Lee Lewis. Tight end. The Lions have not been great at tight end in the past, but this year it's very solid, starting off with a free agent signing from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jesse James. He's going to be a really solid second tight end because of a rookie, TJ Hawkinson. He has a hidden development, so we'll have to find that out throughout the season. That is new to Madden 20 this year. Obviously, the past 10 years or so, the Lions have not had a lot of success with drafting tight ends early. Guys like Brandon Pettigrew, Eric Ebron hasn't really worked out, so we'll try to make sure TJ Hawkinson does. Michael Roberts, not on the team in real life. I guess these rosters aren't perfect. Now into the offensive line, here's Taylor Decker, star development, entering his 4th year out of Ohio State. He's a very talented young player who we can look to build around. And then same can be said for the left guard position with Frank Ragnow entering his 2nd season. We actually had him in the Dolphins series for most of it, so we're definitely used to him. At center, Graham Glasgow, he's young, only 27, but probably not going to be a guy we look to build around long term. Solid starter for now, but his contract is up at the end of the year. Right guard will be a three-way competition between veterans Oday Abushi, Kenny Wiggins, and undrafted rookie Bo Benchwazel, so we'll see who wins that battle. And then right tackle Ricky Wagner. He has a big contract and is a solid player, but like Glasgow, probably not going to be a guy who sticks around long term. Onto the defensive line, Deshaun Hand, entering his 2nd year out of Alabama, had a great rookie season. He's going to be a young player who we look to build around. And then Austin Bryant isn't bad depth. At right end, Trey Flowers, the $90 million man, as he was paid a lot of money to get to the quarterback. Most of these franchises last about 5 years. His contract is 5 years, so we'll get to know him very well. On to defensive tackle, Snacks Harrison has superstar development trait, one of 2 players on the team who has that, and he has special abilities. I don't think these are X-Factor abilities. I think they're separate. His superstar abilities are Run Stopper and Tackle Supreme, and then the other defensive tackle, Ashawn Robinson, solid young player out of Alabama. I think star development is a little bit generous, as he hasn't really proved it to me yet. Looking at the linebacking core, Devon Kennard, he's a solid player, nothing too crazy. Probably not going to be a guy we build around, but for now isn't too bad. Middle linebacker, Jared Davis. I think the fact that he is normal is sort of disrespectful, considering Ashawn has start. Going to try to build around him. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And then the 2nd-round rookie out of Hawaii, Jelani Taivai. We're going to try to get him involved as well. We're going to have a right side of the linebacking core, Christian Jones. Like Devon Kennard, he's solid, nothing special, isn't too bad. Probably not going to be a guy we look to build around. In the secondary, Darius Big Play Slay, superstar development, one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League, 29 years old, not the youngest, but he's still a really solid player. His abilities are zoned out, and then he has another zoned out that he gets once he's a 90, which will be very soon. Rashawn Melvin, a free agent signing. I'm a little bit surprised he is star, yet guys like Jared Davis and Justin Coleman here have normal. It seems like Coleman's going to be a much bigger free agent signing. 4-year contract, whereas Melvin only got 1 year. Coleman will likely play the slot. And then another guy to watch out for is 5th-round rookie Amani Oruwariye. Maybe he sneaks in as the number 4 cornerback, likely competing with Mike Ford and Tease Tabor for that position. And then Jamal Agnew down there, solid kick returner. Safety might be the most interesting position on this roster. You have many of position battles on both safety positions, starting with 3 safety. Tracy Walker, 3rd round, 2nd year out of UL Lafayette. He'll be competing against 3rd round rookie Will Harris out of Boston College. My money's probably on Walker, who had a solid year last year, but who knows, maybe Will Harris can surprise some people. And then strong safety, Quandre Diggs. He had a really good year last year. Extremely disrespectful, but he is normal, yet Rashawn Melvin has star. He'll be competing against Tavon Wilson, 2 talented veterans going at it for the strong safety spot. Maybe Wilson moves to 3, maybe Diggs moves to 3 if the young guys don't really play well. For strong safety, my money would be on Quandre Diggs coming off the year he had. And then the special teams, Matt Prater, one of the best kickers in the NFL, Prate the Great, with an incredible leg. He's 35, not getting any younger, but he's still a good player. And then Sam Martin, I would say he's an above-average punter. Maybe he sticks around, maybe he doesn't. And then draft picks, we don't have anyone else's draft picks, and no one else has ours. So there's a look at the team. It's a very talented group. However, work definitely needs to be done to this roster if we want to become a contender. So here's a look at the layout that we've sort of seen in previous years. Personally, I like it more how it was in Madden 19 and Madden 18. I feel like this is too much like MUT. I'm not really a MUT guy. That's just me. I think the layout last year looked really nice. Not that this is bad, but I guess I sort of just have to get used to this. I've only been playing Madden for about an hour, and this is the first time that I've really seen this screen. So here's a look at the squad by depth chart and position. We're only a 73, even though we were originally an 80. Once again, don't agree with that. And then the specialists, I'll probably fix around like the rush defensive linemen and the extra downs for running backs. I won't carry on getting as much touches as possible. So there is a look at the squad. Let me know your record predictions down in the comments below. I'd probably say anywhere from the 6 to 8 range, I think, is reasonable for this squad. Very tough division, but this is a solid roster. Definitely not a pushover. And then last but not least, Matt Prater wants to talk to us. He's basically just going to be explaining the X Factor Superstar Development Trait System, which I already know a lot about. I'm a pretty experienced franchise player, and I've done my research on the X Factor stuff, so I don't really need to know this, but if you want to pause, feel free. Thank you, Mr. Prater, for informing me, even though I already knew this information. So that will end the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe once again if you are new. Plenty of Madden 20 content will be coming out. Tomorrow will be a triple upload day. We will be uploading opening game against the Cardinals, the start of our QB1 series, and then a rebuild with either the Raiders or the Titans. So, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Have a good one.